Here we have the new 2026 Chevy Traverse. This one comes in the LT trim level with all-wheel drive, silver gray metallic paint, and then we have jet black Evotex interior. For the powertrain, we get a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and that's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Not a lot of big changes from the prior model year, but we're gonna go over it anyway. Front end here, we do get our LED daytime running lights and LED headlamps. But I love the front fascia here. Ever since this got its redesigned, it's one of the coolest looking SUVs out there. Even in this LT, I don't think anything can necessarily touch the RS trim level, but the LT still looks really good. Down here, these are 18-inch aluminum wheels. We get passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. And then to the door panel here, power door lock controls. We get one touch up and down on the driver's side window, express down on the other 3 doors. Power mirror controls are there. Those side mirrors are heated and have blind spot monitors in them. Lift gate control, bottle holder, additional storage for maps, papers, things of that nature. And then over here, electronic parking brake. We can go through our drive modes, all-wheel drive. Then we have the auto stop, hood release. This does include the optional WeatherTech floor mats, or all-weather floor mats, not really WeatherTech, but manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar support. But I want to give a huge thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Traverse today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But sticker on this is $47,644. And I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So I'm gonna see how I fit behind myself in this second row seat. So pretty good space. Make sure the seat's all the way back. There it is. So great space here. Seat back pockets are on both sides. Rear AC controls are here. We can turn the fan speed up, down, temperature. 2 USB-C charge ports, 3-prong household plug-in, bottle holders. And there's a look at the front from back here. We do get LED lights throughout, and we have the AC vents in the headliner here, and all, well, in the second and third row. But there's a look at the third row. Pretty good space back there as well. Bottle holder and a USB-C port on either side there. If you need to activate the child locks, lock, unlock. Fuel filler. And then as we come around to the back in here, this is where this thing really shines. When you see it from the back, quad tip exhaust, and then you have the LED tail lamps, and they just did such a phenomenal job with this back end on this vehicle. If you need the trailer hitch, you got the hookup integrated behind that cover, and there's a look underneath. Power lift gate there. Top tethers, if you need those for the car seats, you get them on the back of all 5 seats, which is great. And then storage underneath there. 12 volt. Now as we come around to the rear passenger side, I'm just going to show you how the seat folds down. So you can fold the third row down pretty easily. So with that down and the second row, you can run longer objects through to the front here. And then you can also grab the lever here, pull, and then it kind of tumbles it forward to get easier access to that third row. And then your lower anchors are right here. But I like these seats because you are able to recline them. So if you do have a car seat, it makes it easier to kind of get that perfect seating position, especially if you have a taller child like myself. And then front passenger seat here, manual 4-way. Glove compartment here. Cut the air down a little bit. And then we have a little storage underneath here, a little hideaway, so it's harder to see in the vehicle. But coming back around to the front, just a quick look in the engine bay. There's that 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. And before we hop in the driver's seat, we're just gonna check out the blinkers. So they're the ones for the back. Get them in the side mirror and up front. So now let's hop in. So love the leather wrap steering wheel here. Nice thick padding, feels good, looks great with the 3-spoke design. And there's the horn. Now over here to the screen here, this is a Google Assistant system. So you have the Google Assistant there, Google Maps. You have option to use Google News as well. But for the audio, we do get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth. And then we have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. Vehicle status is here. So you can click the animation to see air filter, live, tire pressure sensors, battery voltage, all of that. Or you can go into each menu and see all of the different gauges that way. Now your lane keeping system and your headlamps are in the screen here. So you always have a shortcut for that on the side, which is good. Dual zone automatic climate controls and 3-stage heated seats for the front. You can control all of that from the screen here. You have buttons and knobs down below as well. Or you can go into the actual climate menu and control things that way. And speaking of controls, your rear window lockout is here, auto high beams, traction control, parking assist, all that is in the controls menu. And then your settings, vehicle settings include teen driver, rear seat reminder, buckle to drive. And then you have your system settings down below, and that's where you can change your language as well as your units of measurement if you so choose. Backup cameras here, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. You also get the bird's eye view with how this is equipped. Love that, must have in my opinion. It just makes it easier to park straight. And then your front camera's there. You also get side views as well. Now down beneath the normal AC controls, you have a USB-C and a USB-A input, wireless charging pad, bottle holders, additional storage here, and the traditional center console cubby space. You have a removable tray and a pretty bright light in there so you can see in the dark. There's a view of the back seat from up here. Sunglasses holders there. Hazards are here, on start controls. You do get the rear camera mirror in this one, so you can turn that off or on there. Vanity mirror, very nice. And then back to the steering wheel, left side stock, blinkers, intermittent wipers, and then you have your rear wipers, fluid for the rear, and then the front fluid, just push that in there. Now your shifter is on the column, so hit the brake, pull for neutral, pulling up for reverse, pulling down for drive. While you're in drive, you can hit this L here, activate your low mode, and then you can use the limiter and kind of shift those gears with the paddle shifters behind the wheel, and then press that for park. Now behind the steering wheel on the left side, we can go through the track list, radio station presets underneath that paddle, and then on the right side, underneath the paddle, volume up, volume down there. But we get adaptive cruise, so we can turn that on or off. Once it's on, hold this cancel button here, and it'll activate the regular cruise, and then you can hold it again to go back to the adaptive. But set your speed there. The gap adjust for your forward collision alert and your adaptive cruise control is here. And then we do have the voice recognition, Bluetooth buttons, kind of toggle that there. This also serves as a mute when the phone is not up. And then you have your audio sources. You can pull that up and use this as a scroll bar when applicable. Heated steering wheel toggle there. And then you can use this to go through your different gauge cluster views. And there are quite a few. This is my favorite view there. I like having that tachometer set up and then still seeing the speed in the middle, and then having the stuff that I like on either side. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 Chevy Traverse LT with all-wheel drive out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Chevy Traverse LT all-wheel drive, I have it in the all-wheel drive mode now, and I have it in the normal drive mode as well. And you do have those 5 modes I forgot to mention earlier. So normal, sport, off-road, tow haul, then that my mode. We're gonna leave it in normal for right now, and then we're gonna put it into the sport getting on the interstate here momentarily. Gonna give myself a little space here and give it a pull in that sport mode. Not gonna floor it, but I'm gonna give it something. Here we go. So got up to speed very nicely. The sport mode definitely helped, and I'm surprised that it actually felt quick, even though I wasn't getting all of my pull from the front with it being all-wheel drive. But I'm going to turn on the adaptive cruise now. So I mean, the ride quality is really good. It feels plush actually, and that's one thing I think this shines on compared to the Traverse RS with those bigger wheels. Now, I would take the RS all day because it's not that big of a difference, but it is noticeable in my opinion. But I mean, it just floats down the road. Wind noise is minimal and easy to control, I think. But I want to give another thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Traverse today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below, and it takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But so far, it's doing a great job. What I would expect from this new body style Traverse. They just did such a phenomenal job with this redesign, putting the new engine in it. It feels good all the way around. Now I'm taking it out of all-wheel drive, putting it in normal. We're gonna see how this thing does. This is where you get your better fuel economy, not pushing all 4 wheels. But I'm gonna let the vehicle do the talking for a minute as we kind of drive through for a mile or so. Probably like half a mile. Now for the money, I think this is a good spot, I think. Me personally, I like having the all-wheel drive for this, under 48 grand. Getting the packages that come on this one, even including the floor liners, I just wouldn't have to do anything to this except maybe tint the windows a bit. But for the most part, everything that comes on here, I like. You don't have the cooled seats, but not really a big deal. Heated seats are fine. Again, if you tint your windows, you won't have a big issue with necessarily worrying about the seats getting too hot. This EvoTex does not get as hot as typical leather does, in my opinion. But also, just with it's a newer vehicle, and you'd think with a 4-cylinder it wouldn't cool off as fast as the V6, but the air conditioning in here gets cold instantly. It's a new vehicle, but still, I mean, that's nice, and it's cooled the cabin down pretty nicely without me having to have the AC on full blast. And it is 90 degrees. The sun is directly above me. But I mean, having the adaptive cruise is always good. It's a huge plus, especially with a vehicle like this. And I think about the Highlanders, I think about the Pathfinders, and to get them, you know, in that price point, you expect to have adaptive cruise control. So I'm glad that GM decided to just put it on there. But it also just makes this more of a hot item, I think, because the looks are above anything else on the market right now, just my opinion. So just having the tech and the amenities on top of that, GM's got something here. And with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Chevy Traverse LT with all-wheel drive.